Hi, welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be about 10 things that I learned in my 40s, and I cannot wait to share them with you guys. These are 10 things that I kind of wish that I knew a little bit beforehand before I reached 40 because it would have been beneficial. But I learned them as I got older, and I'm grateful for all of the lessons that I have learned through my experiences. So kick back, relax, take your bra off, get comfortable, get some tea or a cherry Pepsi. I love me some cherry Pepsi. Oh, I love some soda. And let's talk about the 10 things that I learned in my 40s. So if you're new here, hello. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Jazz. I'm very much on a spiritual awakening and documenting all of the lessons that I have learned throughout my journey. If any of that sounds interesting to you, I encourage you to click that subscribe button and tap that bell. Give this video a huge thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate that. So number one, the art of not giving a flying when I say this, I have to really overemphasize the F because that's how strongly I feel about this one. The art of not giving a flying flu-fla, flu-flu-flu-fla. Because there were so many things that I used to care about that used to drain the crap out of me. Literally, drain my soul. I was paying attention to things that really didn't serve me, things that I didn't need to pay attention to, literally. I was caring about whether people were gonna like me. I was caring about people's opinions and thoughts about me. And then as you grow older, those things start to really not matter anymore. And when I say this with like true feeling that now it doesn't even matter if people talk crap about me or have their own opinions and stuff. At the end of the day, I know who I am, and that's really all that matters. Opinions and gossip and all that stuff like that is gonna happen regardless. And that's one thing that I had to learn. And then also, people's perception of you is subjective. You can honestly feel like you're the most amazing person in the world, and there's that one person that's just like, ooh, she's drama, or she's this, she's that. And it could very much be all the things that you are not. But this person will think that about you because they have insecurities in themselves and they're trying to project their insecurities onto you. So then when you don't care about these things, life becomes a lot more simpler. And that goes into number two, and this is not giving a reaction to every single thing. Everything does not warrant a response. You do not need to answer everything. You don't need to give a facial expression. You could just be like, okay. I don't know how many things that I have given time and energy to that literally that I just wasted my time, wasted my energy, wasted tears and all of that for what? When I say everything does not warrant a response, let's say for example, somebody pisses you off, somebody gets you to the point where you want to scream at them, but you know that if you take it there, you're gonna yell, you're gonna scream, you're gonna get a headache, you're gonna be frustrated and all that stuff. For what? You're working yourself up for no reason. And I learned that sometimes no response, it's the perfect response in certain situations. And I have learned to do that. And I'm telling you, it brings me so much joy. When things happen that is beyond my control, like don't get me wrong, like if there's things that I feel like I need to voice my opinion on, then I'll do so. But if it's something that I feel like I don't need to give my attention to, I just give an okay, and then I'll just keep it moving. Because at the end of the day, I don't need to go and fight for something that I feel like it's not gonna go anywhere. I feel like if I give my energy to something and there's no change, what's the point of me arguing? The only thing that I can change is myself and how I react to things. Me focusing on what I can control, that is crucial. And that goes into number three, and this is so important, and this is protecting my peace at all costs. I don't care who it is, whether it's family or friends, protecting your peace at all costs. Say it with me, protecting my peace at all costs. Anybody that is going to interrupt your peace with nonsense, their drama, their bad aura and all that stuff, you don't need it. So I've learned, this is going to tie into the next one, and this is going to come into setting boundaries. So basically this is like what, 3 and 4? I had to get people accustomed to my boundaries and learning them and understanding them and respecting them to say like, hey, I may not have the time for you right now. I cannot dive into this. You know, I have my own stuff going on, and having that boundary set up. Yeah, so yes, that goes into protecting my energy. Those are two combined, just in case if you guys are counting. And with my friends, I actually got into the habit of asking, hey, you know, I have something that I want to get off my chest. I want to vent. You know, do you have the mental capacity to take on what I'm about to talk about and give people the option of saying yes or no, because you never know what someone's headspace is at. So being mindful of that, protecting my energy at all costs, and also being mindful and respectful towards others, it's a beautiful thing. And that's something that I highly, highly encourage for anybody who's watching this video. Please get into the habit of asking first if you can go and you can vent, because some people, they just get so comfortable of just like talking about their issues and stuff like that, and not realizing what the other person on the receiving end is going through. So yes, protecting your peace and also setting those boundaries, making sure you ask first before you go and you dive into a vent session. So that's growth. This also ties into being selfish. Selfish sounds like a bad word, but it really isn't. You have to take care of yourself. It is important for you to make sure that you give yourself some you time. And that is something that I've learned. I want to say, like, even in my 30s, I learned this, to really take some time for myself, because if I'm not taking care of me, nothing functions, nothing happens. I'm not able to care for other people. I'm not able to be a good wife. I'm not able to just be an overall good person. So being selfish is okay, just as long as it's not like something that you do all the time. And even if you do, it's like, okay, like if it's all about you, it's all about you. But you know, I have a husband, so I can't 100% be selfish, but there are moments that I have little pieces of my life where yes, this is for me. And I don't have to apologize for it, because he also has things that are just for him, and that's okay. It's not an issue, because we can be selfish when it comes to things like that. Taking care of yourself, your self-care is important, and your own personal time. Like my husband, he goes to the gym. I have my own personal space where I go and I do my content, or if I go and I hang out with my sister, that's my time. He goes to the gym, he goes and he works. We have separate spaces so that way we can do our own things. Being selfish, making sure that you have that own personal time is so dope. We love it. Next thing that I learned in my 40s is the importance of mental health. I had no idea growing up that I suffered from ADHD and anxiety. I also suffered from seasonal depression, and I had no idea that I had this. You know, back in the day when I was not able to focus in school, I was categorized as like the class clown. I was categorized as the person who couldn't sit still, the person who just wasn't applying themselves enough. And it was because there was something going on in me that I had no control over. But back then we didn't talk about mental health like how we talk about it as much as we do today. And I wish that I had that knowledge back then, because I would not have been so hard on myself. Like, oh my God, all of the times that I was just like, oh my God, why can't you just focus? And it wasn't because I was just not interested. It's just like there were things going on within me that was making it hard for me to focus. So when it came to mental health, I finally got to see a therapist. I finally got to get a lot of my past things, like, I don't want to necessarily say trauma per se, but a lot of my past experiences, I got to get them out, and I'm starting to live in the moment a little bit better than I was before. I'm handling life carefully and more gracefully this time around. Next is the art of letting go and embracing change. Letting go is so hard. I'm not even gonna lie. Letting go of a lot of things like old baggage, a lot of hurt and pain, especially things that you went through in your past. But I've got so much better with it because of meditation, and I work with my singing bowls. I like to listen to sound frequencies, and I journal a lot. I do grounding. I do a lot of like things to make sure that I am good mentally, because I went through a lot in my life. In my life, I have been homeless. Like, I went through so much turmoil, and thankfully, I don't look like what I went through. By the grace of God, I don't look like what I went through, because I had to evolve. I could not stay in the past. I could not be a victim of the past anymore. And I think that goes into the next point that I was gonna say, because literally, I have that written down. It says not being a victim of my past and trying to move forward. That's another thing that I have learned in my 40s, of not making excuses for all of the things that I had went through in the past. I would always make an excuse as to why I am the way that I am. why I reacted this way, why I said this in this kind of way. And that was always an excuse. Oh, well, I had this experience. And this is like really more so like in relationships. Oh, so, you know, since I went through a similar experience, then this is what's going to happen. And I would automatically assume or think that I knew what was going to transpire because I felt like I had the experience. And I was not living in the moment. I wasn't allowing each relationship or friendship to be what it was. I was still living in the past. This didn't just go with friendships and relationships. This also went with just like thoughts, things that I've went through. I held onto it for so freaking long. And you know, there's a lot of things that of course that I'm never going to forget, sadly, but what can I do now? When I was acting like the victim of my past, I held on to a lot of hurt. And when you hold on to a lot of hurt, you're not opening up the door in your space and your aura and your energy for new opportunities. You just remain stagnant. So with that being said, I couldn't do that to myself anymore. I had to learn how to slowly let go. Now, was it a process? Absolutely. It didn't happen overnight. I had to do a lot of soul searching, groundwork, mind work, heart work, therapy, and all of that to get myself going. And to be honest, I'm actually still going through that process. I'm a lot better now, thankfully, but there's a lot of things that I'm still working on to really help myself to let go of that part of my life so that way I can move forward and I can be available for all of the goodness that's coming my way. Saying no to things without being apologetic for it. Oh, this one is deep. Oh my God. I don't know how many times I would hesitate on saying no to a lot of things because I was scared about what the other person might think, or I would be scared that I may hurt somebody's feelings and all that stuff. No. Now, no means no. And I don't have to give you an explanation if I don't really want to give you an explanation, because no means no. Okay? It's just that. No means no. I don't even need to dive deep into that. No means no if that's what you mean. If you don't want to go out, if you don't want to hang out with your friends and everybody wants to go and they want to go get cocktails and you're just like, okay, you know what, this time around I just don't want to go. Oh, but why you don't want to go? Because I don't. End of story. I don't have to sit there and explain myself to anybody. No means no, and that's it. All right, now this one wasn't even on my list at all. And the thing that I have learned in my 40s is the true meaning of the word beautiful. Back in the day, I used to pay so much attention to my body, how it looked, my curves, whether if my belly was hanging low, having one chest size bigger than the other, one foot being bigger than the other, my face not being symmetrical. I paid attention to all of those things that did not matter. True beauty. I don't care what anybody says. You can be beautiful all out here, but if your inside, if your personality is gaga, you're trash. I'm sorry. That it is what it is. You can have all of that, the glam, the whole lifestyle and all of that, but if your personality sucks, boo, you ain't it. Don't get me wrong, having a nice body is a booster to your confidence and it makes you feel good, and it's great for an overall healthy life, of course, but that's not the only thing. You know, when it comes to your appearance and it comes to your personality and your whole energy, like, it's not just about how you look on the outside. It's not just about your long hair. It's not just about your figure. It's not just about how big your butt is. Like, it's not about that. It's about how you treat yourself. How do you treat other people? Are you an overall good person? Do you have a good soul? Is your aura dark? Like, those are things that I pay attention to. That whole pretty nonsense can only get you but so far. But like I said, if you have a dark soul, honey, you won't have friends, you won't have a relationship, you just won't have anything. Nobody gonna want to be around you. So learning and appreciating what true beauty really is, like, those are things that I appreciate when I'm conversing with people and seeking new friendships and creating new relationships with women. I look for that. I look for how gentle your heart is. I look for empathy. I look for how you treat your family. I look for how you also treat yourself as well. Those are things to me that actually make someone beautiful. Physical attributes, okay, yeah, it's cool and all, but I rather like, how can you stimulate my mind? And last but not least, the thing that I learned in my 40s is not speaking ill about myself. For those of you who have watched my channel for a long time, know that 2.5 years ago I had spine surgery, and I was in a situation where I could not feel anything from the waist down. I couldn't walk, I couldn't use the bathroom on my own, and instantly I realized that all of the things that I took advantage of were instantly taken away from me. Now luckily, by the grace of God, I'm able to walk, I'm able to use the bathroom, and thank you God, I'm able to do all of those things. But I was speaking ill about my body for so long, and it really made me appreciate everything that I had. Okay, I'm plus size, but I'm able to walk. My body is able to protect me and keep me safe. I'm able to do the things that I couldn't at one point. And now I am a little bit more graceful. Okay, it may not be symmetrically or proportioned how society feels like a body should look. There's no wrong or right way of how your body should look. It's really more so on how you treat yourself. And people don't realize that words are powerful. When you speak ill about yourself, you start to feel ill, you get sick, mentally you start to feel sick, and it just doesn't feel good on your body. When you start to speak these positive affirmations out loud and truly mean them, feel confident about yourself, you're doing a great service to yourself. You're gonna see a boost of energy. You're gonna see how your day just like magically changes. You're gonna see how your relationships change. You're gonna see just how beautiful life can be when you speak those positive affirmations to yourself. It is the most beautiful thing. I highly encourage anybody that's watching to go and take a look at yourself in the mirror and say, I am beautiful, I am powerful, I am kind, I am confident, I am worthy. And when you say those things to yourself and you truly, truly mean it, I'm telling you, it's literally the best thing. I'm so proud of myself. I literally want to give a shout out to myself for all of the things that I have been through, for all of the things that I have grown from, and all of the experiences that I have yet to go through. I'm grateful for every lesson. I'm grateful for every step of my journey, because it's been a roller coaster. I'm not even gonna lie. It's been a roller coaster, and I'm so proud of myself. I want to get a little emotional. I'm really, really proud of myself because it's tough. Life is tough. Life be life, and sometimes, and I know this, it does get better. It does get better. If you have someone in your life that you can trust, that is a beautiful thing. Confide in them if you can. If you need to go and seek therapy, please do so. You may discover things about yourself that you didn't before, and it really changed my life. And I was one of those people. I want to say I was definitely one of those people where I was like, oh, I don't need a therapist. Therapy is bad and blah, blah, blah. And it just makes it seem like, oh, you're a loon. There's a lot of things that you can cover in therapy that maybe you did not realize or know about yourself that you can discover in therapy. And also making sure that you are treating yourself well and speaking light into your soul. This is so freaking crucial. I wish I was able to go back and talk to my younger self and let her know, Jazz, it's gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. Everything that you went through was just an experience that you had to go through in order for you to be the woman that you are today. And I'm so grateful. Thank God. So, okay, before I continue on crying, this concludes this video. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know all of the lessons that you have learned throughout your life, regardless of what age you are. And let me know if anything that I said resonated with you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I will see you in my next video. See you.